Why hello there, the walrusclown here, and today we'll be covering the movie that I said we would. I found it randomly while typing things into YouTube. The Happiness, Secret of the Loch pilot movie, everyone. Anywho, on to the intro.
Did you get a gift? Your surprise has fallen through. You may think that I'm unhappy, but I'm not.
Anywho, like most cartoons from the 80s and 90s, Happiness, Secret of the Loch was a cartoon that was meant to promote a toy line that came out in the same year, 1995. And also, like a lot of toy tie-in cartoons, the first couple of episodes were made with the idea of being re-edited into a movie so that they could pop it onto a VHS as a movie so they could recoup the costs of making those episodes while selling the VHS. If you're wondering why the for preview purposes only lines at the bottom screen are for, the original uploader uploaded a copy that was sent around to toy stores to encourage that store to put the product on the shelves by showing that there was a show or a movie to promote it. Anywho, onto the premise. We open on a theme song so saccharine that
something's hiding just beneath the sea. Something's hiding just inside your heart.
Order! Fetch the overly saccharine opening bucket!
I hate you so much right now.
Well, yeah, that just happened. Anywho, after the Rainbow Barf opening, we cut to the main trio's uncle who owns the castle turned haunted hotel this series is set in, telling a horror story about how the hotel castle is haunted by the ghost of his great uncle who went missing decades ago to the patrons and then tries to get them to buy souvenirs because he's kind of a greedy, mean-spirited shuckster who is mean to the main characters. Anywho, our main trio consists of a little girl named Hannah and her two older brothers, Hayden and Palsy. And we get introduced to them by Hannah running into the room and claiming to see the ghost of the great uncle, and one of the twins saying that there is no such things as ghosts and that they are scientifically impossible. After a bunch of time-filling, unfunny shenanigans, Astral Bagpipe lures them through a hidden passage by magic, then end up going down the slide to hell from that one episode of Futurama. Trust me, that was an apt comparison considering how bad this gets. Anywho, after the splashdown, they find both the ghost and the Loch Ness Monster. Anywho, they end up in a hidden underground world, and we are only at the 5-minute mark. Someone please kill me. Anywho, we find out that there are a whole species of Loch Ness monsters down here, and that they all have cosmopolitan on-the-nose names like happiness, silliness, and loudness. All of which describe their personalities and what they can use their Care Bears rip-off powers to make you feel or act like. And yes, the villains are going to be Nessies with negative emotion names, and all the ones with actions instead of emotions as names are going to get really annoying really quickly. Especially loudness and sadness. And yes, their names also describe their one-note personalities. I don't know if I said it already or not, but if I did, it bears repeating to impart on you on how annoying their personalities are. Anywho, they find out that the main Ness, Happiness, and the ghost, who is called Surprise, yeah, it's stupid, just roll with it, are late for rehearsal for a play they are all putting on. And after a screen that introduces what I'll charitably call the villains, pompousness, darkness, and meanness, all come up with a plan to kidnap the star of the play to get even for not making pompousness the star. And then, after some cheap, unfunny filler, meanness and darkness accidentally kidnap Hannah because she has a star on her shirt. And yes, every one of this toy tie-in TV movie re-edit is incredibly stupid. Anywho, after that the boys do the smart thing and reveal themselves to Surprise and the monsters to get their help. Enjoy this because it's the only instance of intelligence during this entire thing. Anywho, after a really stupid bit where all the Nessies hop around on their bellies in a panic over the boys showing up and that a kidnapping happened, Surprise gets them to calm down. They agree to help the twins and head to the local detective, Elliot Ness. They were really stretching to make that Ness thing apply to everything, and it gets so cringeworthy I needed surgery to be able to move my mouth again. So Elliot deduces in less than 5 seconds that Dark, Mean, and Prude were behind it to help move the plot along. We then cut to the Dark Castle where Hannah gets the upper hand by pulling a rarity.
Whining? I am not whining. I am complaining. Do you want to hear whining? This is whining. Oh, this harness is too tight. It's going to chafe. Can't you loosen it? Oh, it hurts and it's so nasty. Why didn't you clean it first? It's going to leave a stain. The wagon's getting heavy. Why do I have to pull it?
And by the end, Happiness uses her Care Bears mind rape ripoff powers to temporarily rewrite the bad guys' personalities, and they are more than happy to just let Hannah go after that. And on stuff that doesn't make any sense unless every character is secretly an asshole, it's revealed that Surprise isn't dead. He just uses a magic amulet to make himself immortal and lets his family think that he's dead. And uses magic to make himself invisible to mess with his living relatives because he's just a dick like that. Anywho, then Hannah and the boys finally ask what the deal with the Loch Ness monsters are. And they put on a musical show that is meant to be exposition to explain what the Nessies are, where their powers come from, etc., only for the song to somehow take up 4 minutes and succeed at doing none of those things. But it does show up several set pieces that were probably made into play sets for the kids to get that Christmas. Time and money well spent, everyone. Okay, this is getting kind of long. Time to start summarizing. Anywho, we start what will be episode 2 when this is broken into multiple episodes, where they do a surprise birthday plot, and Surprise is the one who's turning 169. Didn't mention that he's an asshole for not sharing that he discovered the secret to immortality with the world and letting scientists study it so that everyone could be immortal, because if I didn't, then I really needed to. Anywho, it's just your average surprise birthday plot. We get a few more Nessies introduced for the kids to buy, and a new evil character by the name of Selfishness, who tries to steal the birthday cake. But outside of that, it's just dull. Every trope associated with this plot is here, outside of another horrible musical number at the end. Nothing worth bringing up happens. Moving on to what will be episode 3 when this is broken into episodes. In this pile of excrement, we get a story where one of the Nessies, Sadness, is sad that his sister, Gladness, is going away for the day to help clean Surprise's house because Surprise is the worst because he can't be bothered to use his immortality to learn other forms of magic and have a golem or something do the cleaning. It's just easier to enslave the Nessies to do manual labor. Anywho, the brats and the other Nessies try to cheer him up by making music, putting on the world's lamest circus, and even resorting to use his Happiness's Care Bears rip-off mind-raping powers to force him to be happy, only for all of them to fail. And then instead of getting him to a psychologist to get him on antidepressant medication, like they should when someone reaches depression to this point where it qualifies as a disorder, they sing a song about how it's okay to feel sad. Then we get more patting. Then Sadness goes off to the castle to find Gladness, only for them to be picking flowers when a storm hits. Only for the magic doodad keeping Sadness invisible and also allows him to fly to be blown off. He splashes down into the loch and a greedy uncle sees him. And then some more unfunny shenanigans about the uncle trying to scam some more money out of the guests by trying to get their picture taken with Sadness, and Gladness arriving home only for them to go save Sadness, and that segment is over. Moving on. In the next episode, we get a story where the richest Nessie in Happy Land, and yes, the name of the underground cavern this takes place in is called Happy Land. Anywho, the richest Nessie in Happy Land learns that money can't buy happiness and the meaning of friendship and to eat his vegetables, etc. after the bad guys crash a party at his place, kick him out of his home, and he loses everything because the Nessies pull a literal Trojan horse in order to get the house back. Then, in our final segment, we get a story about Hannah and the new Nessie for the show, Cuteness, are too small to do things, only for Happiness and crew to get stuck in a cave-in orchestrated by Pompousness. After sending a magic message to the Deliver River, which can magically get anything or anyone to where they want to go, and yes, the name is stupid, Hannah and Cute steal Surprise's ship and then trick Pompousness and crew into freeing Happiness and the gang. And we get a 2-for-1 moral about obeying your elders and not underestimating others because they are young. This is one of the worst shows I've had to review for this review show. While the animation and character design was okay for the era in which it was made, the writing and setting was, well, 20 years out of date 24 years ago when it aired in 1997. The storytelling engine and premise was straight out of the mid-80s, and the writing was from the animation dark ages of the 70s. Avoid at all costs. Anywho, that's it for this review, and now it's time to go full steam into getting that crossover with Rowdy Seaframe TV trash going. Anywho, I'm the Walrus Clown. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, etc. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Ooh!